what do you make of RFK, the run for president, his exposure now, which is nice because he's running for president? It seems like now he's been forced to at least be listened to. And then more that happens, it seems like more people are open. What do you make of DeSantis and Trump as well? But I'll start with RFK.
I'm not sure how to answer the question. I actually legally don't know how I can answer that question. I'm sitting on a set of a nonprofit right now that isn't allowed to be politically involved. I am directly, I think as a disclaimer, I am directly involved with RFK because I've worked with him so much. He and I have been confidants with each other. So I think that I have a bias when it comes to that conversation. So let me try to just be as general as I can about it. What I think is really fascinating at the moment is that, and I really want to speak it from my perspective. When I got involved with Vaxxed, and there was a primary donor that was, really giving more than most to help us do the work that we were doing. And I had said that my goal was to make the vaccine issue the number one most important issue of the next presidential election. And when we found ourselves in the election between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, I got a call from that person who had since, gone on to do other things, but reminded me of that conversation and said to me, I believed in you and I really supported a lot of the work you did, but there was that when you made that statement that you thought you could make this the number one conversation next presidential election, I thought he's a little bit over the tips of his skis at the moment. And they said, I actually believe you've done that. Now, of course, I didn't do that alone. People like you, many of us were waking up this issue and made that the case. But I think arguably the pandemic was in some ways forced into a reality because our messaging on the dangers of vaccine was becoming so successful. So many parents were starting to really ask important questions. And so that election clearly was about a vaccine. I think if the vaccine had been delivered before Trump, before the election at that moment, he probably would have won. I question why they released it 5 days after he lost the election. Something tells me he was lied to. There's a lot, I think, behind all of that. But I think we can honestly say that the vaccine was on trial. The vaccine was a part of the conversation in every headline across the world. So this is where I dreamed we would be. Now, I never made the statement that the vaccine issue, that everyone would agree with me that there was a problem, but we would all be having to face it. And that's what I wanted. And so I can say this, that I am heartened by the fact that there are multiple candidates now in the United States of America that are running on platforms that discuss openly their challenge of the safety of at least one vaccine, if not many vaccines. That was the goal of the work that we did as a nonprofit. And we now find ourselves with this conversation in the mouth of Ron DeSantis, a Republican, the mouth of RFK Jr., a Democrat. Donald Trump is finding himself in a very uncomfortable space trying to speak to a health freedom population that I think got him elected the first time, that are disenfranchised with him because of the vaccine. He's being booed when he brings up his vaccine, and then trying to find himself in a place where he's saying, look, I'm not ever going to force it on you. I want to celebrate for those that have got it, but I will always make sure you have a right to choose, which is arguably a respectable statement. I wish Joe Biden would wake up to this issue. I don't believe these are inherently evil people. They're as misguided as the scientists and doctors that are waking up now to this issue. So to stay as objective as I can, what I know is that this will be a central conversation to elections around the world. We are seeing politicians worldwide running on platforms of medical and health freedom and winning. That is what has always been important to me. I think it's important to humanity. If, as you said, and we can look at it from a banking perspective, as you said, if we do not have control over our own money, we do not have freedom of speech. And I would say equivalently, if we do not have control over our own bodies, then we have no freedom at all. If I cannot control what is injected into my body or what I have to eat. If I don't have control over that, I am no longer a free citizen. I believe I've been reduced to the same rights as a farm animal. A farm animal cannot reject the injections that the farmer is giving them. And if we can't reject injections being forced on us by a president, then we are farm animals. We cannot let that happen. And I'm happy that there are, at least, in the presidential run right now, several candidates in both parties, and I would love a third party perspective. I think that's important too, because you have to question what success RFK Jr. is going to have in a Democratic DNC, the national committee that is saying they won't even have debates. He's got a difficult road ahead of him, but he is polling in with unbelievable power at an entry point. He is doing things like going to the border in Mexico and just sending out TikTok videos and going to, shanty towns in San Francisco and saying, and going to the places that people want better ideas to be happening. And so, it's all in God's hands. I'm just happy that we have candidates now that are recognizing that the bumper sticker slogans that have gotten people elected before will not be good enough. We want real answers. We want real conversations. And I hope that the political committees that head all of these parties start opening up to what you are doing and what Joe Rogan is doing, what I am doing, which is having longer, more thorough conversations about these things in front of the public. I believe that the public is intelligent enough to understand these topics, want a deeper conversation, and I think we are tired of being treated like we're idiots and we can only understand 5 words that can sit on a bumper sticker. I believe the next president will win because they will speak truth to power and they will do it eloquently and thoroughly.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.